Hi guys, welcome to the channel. It's me, your girl Babs B, and this is Babs B TV. And today we're going to be reviewing the movie Paranormal Activity Next to Kin. Now, I remember seeing the posters for this movie early in the year, and I never knew when it was supposed to come out, where it was supposed to come out on, if it was going to the theaters or anything. So, I was going through Paramount Plus, watching, find me something to binge, and the commercial comes on. And I was like, what? Oh my God, I'm so ready because anybody who knows me knows that I love scary movies and I definitely love paranormal activities because I like things like that. Like, that's about the only movies that can really scare me is like some demonic shit. So, without further ado, let's get into this review. Uh, and before we start, let me remind you that there will be a spoiler alert because, yes, I'm reviewing the movie. So, if you don't want to hear about it before you watch it, I advise you to go to Paramount Plus where it's streaming, watch it. But if you care or you're too scared to watch that movie yourself, don't worry, your girl got you. I'm about to tell you about it anyway. So the movie is based in present time. It opens up with the main character Margaret, played by Emily Badger. We all know her from the show House of Witch on Netflix. And she is on the hunt to find her biological mother who left her as a baby at a local hospital. So through DNA testing, she finds a direct bloodline for her mother to a young Amish boy named Samuel, who is played by Henry Aries Brown. So, with the help of her friend Chris, who does documentaries, Chris is played by Roland Buck III. You all know him from Chicago Med, the movie Slate, and Selma, The Bridge to the Ballad. And Dale, the sound guy, played by Dan Lippert, to document her journey on finding out about her family. So the crew and Samuel all meet up and make their way to the Beeler farm. And when they get there, they run into Jacob, who is played by Tom Nowicki. And he does not accept this group because, first of all, they're Amish and they come with all these cameras and everything. So he does not accept the group. So the group has to go to a hotel room where they're going to try to figure out how they about to do this. While in the hotel room, Margaret and Chris keeps hearing like this weird noise coming from the bathroom. And for some reason, like in every movie, we have to go investigate this strange noise. So in the bathroom, they are looking around, and when Margaret goes to the window to look out the window, this young boy named Eli from the Beeler farm is outside of the window. So first of all, that's a red flag for me because I'm looking like the farm is supposed to be secluded, and we're in town at this hotel. So how the hell did this little boy get from this farm all the way to this hotel with nobody realizing that little Eli is gone? But okay, I digress. We're gonna keep going. So they take the little boy back to the farm, and because Jacob is so happy that they brought Eli back, he decides that they can now stay at the farm. Their first night there, the crew is awakened in the middle of the night around 2 o'clock in the morning by noises, and they see the people from the farm going off into the woods. And so, curiosity strikes the cat, so they want to know what's going on. The next morning, Samuel, explains to them like, "Hey, everybody's pretty nice. You can go talk to them, but be aware, like everybody's not going to want to be on camera because, of course, we're Amish." So you can't have the camera in everybody's face. And he also lets them know, please do not go into the woods because there are bears in the woods. And so that's when Margaret brings up the fact that, hey, we woke up in the middle of the night and it was a bunch of people going into the woods. And Samuel just kind of like brushes it off and just was like, oh, one of the cows got hurt. And then we was on a hunt to go find, I guess the bear that hurt the cow. Yeah, Red flag number two. Because, baby, first of all, how y'all even know a cow got hurt at 2 o'clock in the morning? And at 2 o'clock in the morning, why are we going to go hunt for what killed the cow? Especially if we know it's bears out there. But we're going to keep going. So, Samuel gives them a nice little tour around the farm, and Margaret finds herself around a group of girls. And she was telling them how her mom is supposedly from this farm. And then she was like, did y'all know my mother? I know y'all might be a little too young to know her, but maybe y'all parents knew her. And that's when one of the girls explains to Margaret that yes, her mother was here and that they heard that her mother had got pregnant by an Englishman, which is just terms for somebody who's outside of our community. That night, the generator to the room to help them be able to keep their phones and cameras charged up went out. So Chris goes out to go get the generator back up. Once he got it back up, he's leaving off to go back into the house, and he runs into a little boy. I'm not sure if it's Eli, but it's a little boy out in the snow in the cold with no shoes on and barely any clothes on. And Jacob just explains to Chris, oh, he's a sleepwalker. This happens. I call that red flag number 3. I don't care what nobody says. Red flag. Another red flag. Here we go. Another one. Okay. So the next day, while getting B-roll for their documentary, Margaret sitting with a little girl who's playing with her doll, and she's like telling the little girl about her mother, and she said, yeah, my mom used to be on this farm before she ran away. And the little girl tells her, oh, no, your mama's still here, and she don't like you. So Margaret's like, excuse me, what you say? And that's when the little girl drops her doll and walks off like real weird, like, red flag, another red flag. What the fuck that little girl talking about? What do you mean my mama's still here? Like, answers. We need answers. So Margaret gets back in the house and she's asking the guys, like, hey, do y'all ever hear like some strange noises coming from upstairs? Like, y'all never hear stuff being moved around up there? Now, the room above their room is supposed to be the abandoned room of Margaret's mother, Sarah. So nobody's supposed to be up there. So, in true white girl form in a movie, a scary movie, let's go investigate this damn room that's abandoned, but we hearing all these damn noises coming from. So she goes up in the room and she, snooping around, looking all through the drawers, and that's when she comes across like this tin can, like, the little cookie can. And so she goes to open it. I'm like, girl, ain't nothing gonna be in there but like some needles or something, because people just don't always keep cookies. It's never cookies in the cookie can. It's always some other shit. So when she opens up the cookie can, she realizes like a bunch of postcards in there and this letter. And in the letter is talking about like, hey, y'all can't have my baby. I'm not gonna turn my baby over into the sick cults and this and that. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Red flags, red flags. So while she's trying to read this letter, the drawer to the dresser that she pushed in all the way now, it falls. So when you looking through the dresser drawer, like the little space, she can see that there's a door, like a little door behind the dresser. So, true form, once again, this is a scary movie and we're going to do some shit that don't make no damn sense. She pushes the dresser to the side and goes into this damn door. So, the door is like a little compartment, almost like the attic, kind of, but I guess like you transferred into like a closet. But in the very back of the closet, we see like this demonic looking paint splatter or whatever, because it really didn't look like a drawing. It looked like somebody drew it in blood. So while she's in there, she hear somebody coming into the room. That somebody is Jacob. So Jacob looking around like, how the fuck this door get open? So he says something like in a panic in German and runs out the room and locks the door. So now, Margaret, your ass locked up in this room with these strange noises and a demonic figure in the fucking closet. So she tries to make an escape out the damn window. Oh, but before she could open up the window, baby, she sees a reflection of a woman in the window and she turns around and ain't nobody behind her. Another red flag. First of all, the other red flag was Jacob coming in there saying something real crazy in German and running out the damn room. That was the red flag right there. And now I'm seeing somebody face in the mirror. It's time to go. But of course, no, you go back down there and tells the group, and the group is just like, Dale is like, I knew this place was haunted. Like, crazy, creepy farms, I know it was haunted. And Chris is just like, y'all just doing a little too much. Everything's okay. No, Chris, everything is not okay. So, the next morning, they interviewed Jacob about her mother for this documentary. And Jacob just explains to them how her mother had always been a wildflower as a child, and what they didn't know as a wildflower, what they called a wildflower as a child, became a problem as an adult because she ends up running off the farm, getting pregnant by one of the town's boys. She never told them who the father was. And then, because she got pregnant, the farm basically shunned her. They didn't kick her out, but basically you could not participate with the rest of the group. You had to eat by yourself. You had to do everything by yourself. And so eventually her mama gets fed up and she leaves the farm. So Margaret brings up about the letter, and once he reads the letter, he lets her know, like, okay, in our tradition, you cannot have a baby outside of wedlock. Because she did, she was supposed to give her baby up to somebody else in the community that was married. And Margaret finds like this is a problem, but Jacob spins that shit around to her and lets her know, like, oh, it's a problem, but it was not a problem that she abandoned you at a hospital with nobody around. What if nobody would have saw you? She left you on the street. What would have been better? And I was like, damn, Jacob, you ain't have to tell her that shit like that. She know her mama fucked up for that. But moving on, Chris was playing with his drone outside in the woods because he's still trying to get like some overhead B-roll. And while he's doing this, his drone comes across just past those woods that we ain't supposed to be going in is a church. So the group make their way through the woods to the church, and the church is locked. And Dale goes to pick the lock, but as soon as he got the lock picked, Jacob ass pops up. It was like, oh no, y'all can't go in there. Y'all not welcome into that church. So curiosity is piquing the cat because Margaret's like, well, we can't go up in this dang on church. This is the house of the Lord. Everybody is welcome in the house of the Lord. We trying to figure out what's going on. Everyone is back at the house. I'm not sure if it was dinner time or if it was supposed to be lunch, but I'm gonna guess dinner because they had like rolled mashed potatoes, chicken, and all that. That just sounds like dinner. That is not lunch. So of course Chris is still filming stuff going on around the farm, and he comes across an old lady in her rocking chair staring out the window, and he walks over to her, to speak, and she's supposed to be peeling potatoes, but when they look, they notice that the girl is peeling her freaking skin off. Okay. Another red flag. What's wrong with grandma? Why grandma staring at that damn window like that? She got dementia or something? Like, what the fuck going on? That's another red flag for me. It's too much going on. That night, while they was asleep, Margaret and Chris is woken up by like this screeching animal crying out like in pain or something. So, once again, true fashion, because this is a scary movie, we gotta go look and see what's going on. So, it's like a red glow coming from the barn. And I'm looking like, is that not another red flag? Because I feel like that's another red flag, because why is there a red glow coming from the barn? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm in the age of electricity, so I don't burn too many candles, but I don't remember to be being no red glow when I did light a candle or two. But y'all make y'all way in there anyway, and y'all witness a goat having a baby, and the goat baby got 2 damn heads. Red flag. Why that goat just had a 2-headed baby? I need to know. So while they witnessed it, they killed the goat that had the 2-headed baby and the 2-headed baby goat. So they put them in some bags, and the lady was like, we got to hurry. It's already starting to happen. What's she talking about? That's red flag number whatever we're on, because I'm looking like, well, what's she talking about? it's already starting to spread and stuff like that. What's going on? So they take the goats and they head their way to the woods, and they end up back at this church. So now Margaret and Chris is really like, what is going on in this church? They are sacrificing goats and taking it into the church. So they're like, we got to get into this damn church. The next day, Margaret schemes up a plan to get Samuel distracted so that her and Chris could get into this church. So they get Dale on a horse that ends up taking off, and Sam has to go save Dale. While he trying to go save Dale from this runaway horse, they make their way back to this church. They get inside, and lo and behold, they ain't no pews. What church don't have no pews? And if you don't have pews, they usually have seats. Because you know, some churches, they need a little more building fund money, so we don't have the pews yet. But we at least got some folded chairs or something now. You know, some nice little chairs that you going to use for the church time. And then when it's time for us to have like the family and friends day, we use them same chairs to go sit down at the table. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you grew up in the church. Ain't no pews up in there. But they do see like these little paintings on the floor. And one is of like this little demonic looking thing, and it has a Simius on it or something like that. I cannot pronounce it, but y'all know whatever that this name right here. That's what it was. So they see that little painting. Then the next painting was like what it said, something about everyone will turn on each other, starting with the young and the women. And then it's another one that says a sacrifice have to be made. And I guess the sacrifice being made is going to stop everybody from turning on each other. And then you see it holding like this naked woman. So confusing. That don't look like the blood of Jesus on that floor. So while we still up in this church, I don't understand. That would have been another red flag. It's 3 red flags on the floor right here that told me it's time for us to go. But we still gonna look around this church. So then they notice it's like this harness thing over in the corner. And it's like, what the fuck is they got a harness in here for? And that's when they notice that the pew, that the not the pew, but what they call the altar or whatever, you know, the little thing, the podium. Yeah, that's what it is. The podium that the preacher be speaking up at. Once they pushed it to the side, it revealed that it's a door underneath there. Okay, something covering up something that you can go in is usually another red flag. But no, let's open the door. So they go into the tunnel. They see it's a tunnel that they open the door. It's like a hole in the ground. And so she's like, oh, that's what the harness for. Margaret go get her ass suited up in this harness to go down into the damn hole. I'm looking like, girl. It ain't making no sense. And Chris is like, my blackness is blacking right now. Girl, you can't go down that hole. We don't know what's down there. Like, what is they throwing the goats down in this hole for? Exactly. What is y'all throwing the goats down there for? So, against his better judgment, he lets her go down there in the hole, because when a white woman want to do what a white woman want to do, you got to let the white woman be a white woman in the scary movie. So, Margaret makes her way down into this hole. And she gets almost to the bottom, but she can see like it's some tunnels in there, and it's going into a room, and she hears this noise in the back of the tunnel. So at this point, her ass gets scared. She asks Chris to pull her up. And Dave's like, oh yeah, I don't know what's going on, but this is crazy. So, true fashion, a car that has not been going anywhere for the past 4 or 5 days, somehow the battery is dead. So I'm like, okay, Dale, how the hell did the battery die in the van? So now we're stuck on this farm. So while me and folk is trying to figure out what's going on with the van, Margaret knows the ass decides she's going to snoop in Jacob's room. Okay. So you get up in Jacob's room and you realize it's a locked closet up in there. So you get in the closet, push the clothes aside. Guess what's behind them damn clothes? A computer, Wi-Fi, a camera, and a printer. So I was like, now wait a minute. If they supposed to be Amish, how the fuck they got a computer? Where's the electricity? All this time we have not seen not a lick of electricity except for the damn generator. So where the hell? How y'all got these computers hooked up? But the crazy part wasn't even just the computer being there. The crazy part was what was on the computer. So when Margie gets into the computer, which was running pretty damn slow, like baby must have the first damn laptop to be made because the thing took forever to load up. She looks on there. Baby, you think you been looking for your damn family? No, 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 no. They been looking for your ass. Girl, they done found Margaret looking through the damn computer. They been stalking Margaret for years. For years. Not only do they know been looking for Margaret, they got her address. They know what school she was going to. They know her whole school schedule. Girl, they know if you was going to class or not. So at this point, Margaret's over this shit. Like, all them other red flags was a red flagging for her, but this one right here, she's like, oh no, it's time to go. So she tells Chris what's going on. Chris like, well, you know, the car battery is shot. Well, we're gonna have to spend another night here. We're gonna go to town tomorrow, get a battery, and then we're getting the fuck up out of here. And I was like, oh baby, I will walk. Can we just walk? Can we not get go outside, see if we can get a little bit of signal to call an Uber and get the fuck out of here? Cause I'm ready to go. So that night, Margaret is hearing some creepy ass noises. She couldn't get Dale and Chris ass up for nothing. Like somebody done knocked them out cold or something. And so she goes to the door to go see what is making the noise instead of, because me, a girl like me, would jump back in my bed and put the covers over my head and lay as still as I can and hope that whatever is out there won't notice I'm here. But that's just me. She goes to the door to go look. And her ass is scared as a fuck. It's like some unseen spirit out there grabs Margaret ass up and take her to the ceiling. So the next morning, Margaret at the window, Margaret acting crazy. Margaret acting like old lady who was peeling her skin back with a potato peeler. So Chris and Dale gets the doctor of the farm to come, and nobody seems to notice that there's bloody footprints on the damn ceiling. But anywho, the doctor was like, oh, don't worry, she just needs rest. She's going through a heavy menstrual cycle. Sir, what? I done had plenty of cycles in my 30 years. But I ain't never had one that had me looking out the damn window acting fucking crazy. And the damn sure ain't getting no blood on the ceilings. So Chris is like, I ain't feeling this. We really gotta get going out of here. So they are trying to make their way into town, and they end up being able to hitch a ride with this mailman. And they're telling them like, yeah, we're on the Beeler farm. We're documenting this Amish family. And the mailman was like, them people ain't Amish. I done worked this route for 40 years. Them folks is not Amish. He said, you can ask anybody in this town. The Beeler family is not Amish. So now Chris and Dale is looking like, what? When they get to the dang parts store, they asked the man, could they use the computer to look something up? And the man was like, yeah, go ahead. So they look up the name Asimius, or whatever, that name right there. They look it up. And it's just it's basically a demonic form. It's a spirit. And the bloodline is through women, and you have to make a sacrifice to this spirit so that everybody can continue living, or if not, everybody is going to turn in each other. Basically, what the paintings on the floor is. So now Chris is like, okay, we gotta go, because now he got a correlation that he believes Sarah's mother is Asimius and that Margaret is a direct bloodline to the mama. They need Margaret to keep the farm alive, and 1 + 1 is equaling 2, and it's also equaling we got to get the fuck on. They gets back to the farm. Everything is gone. All that stuff in the room is gone. Margaret's gone. They don't know what the hell is going on. So Chris runs, is like looking out and comes out the room, and Samuel was standing there speaking gibberish. So he was like, Sam, what's going on? Where's Margaret? Where's our stuff? Sam, the bell starts ringing. The church bell starts ringing. And he was like, stay in your room with the door locked until you hear the bell stop ringing. And then he runs off. Chris like, oh, hell no. So he runs out to the church. He gets he gets to the church, he sees that the tunnel is, the little hole in the floor is open. Jacob tries to stop him. He said, you don't know what you're doing. What you're doing is gonna mess everything up. We need you to not do that. And he's like, no. So him and Jacob gets into this tussle, and he hits Jacob across his head with like the thing for the harness. Hit him across the head, knocks Jacob out, and then Jacob falls into the hole. Chris, his super saving suit came on because his black was not blacking, because his ass decides to get in the harness and go down into the damn hole. So you get all the way to the bottom, and you make your way to the end of the tunnel, and you see Margaret in like this water, and this lady pouring like the salt on her, which, by the way, back to when Sam was giving the tour of the farm. It was all these big old bags of salt that they had. Well, the salt is for the ritual that they need to do. So while y'all trying to do the lady trying to do the ritual on Margaret, Chris pushes the lady, who ends up knocking over all the salt. While she's trying to gather up all the salt, he waking Margaret up. Margaret finally wakes up out her trance to run, and that's when they see like this lady figure, but it's like creature like if you ever seen Descent, it was a little bit like how them damn creatures looked on that fucking movie. Just like that. The little thing is chained up, but she attacks that lady. Then she tries to get them, but of course she chained up, so she, gets snatched back. Like, how the dog gets snatched back on that chain? She gets snatched back. So they running through the tunnels and gets back to the harness, and how the fuck we gonna get back up? Who gonna pull us back up? But here come Dale, come to save the day. Dale gets them back up out the damn tunnel just in the nick of time, because guess who will crawling up through the damn tunnels? The damn little demon human figure like thingy that just attacked old lady down there is crawling up the damn tunnel. So they run in the woods. It's dark outside. They can't even see. They running. Next thing we know, we turn around. Here go little demon thingy. Tax Dale. Damn, Dale dead now. So they run to the barn, because just on the other side of the barn is the van. So they get in there. They're running from the little demon thing, and then next thing we know, they turn off the camera light to try to conceal themselves. But I'm looking like, if the little thing been living in some tunnels with no light all this time, y'all, she can see in the dark. I'm just saying, she can see in the dark. So lady ends up jumping on Chris. Got him. About to tear Chris up. He about to be dead. But oh no, Margaret not gonna let Chris die, because baby, we cannot let the only sexy black man in this movie die. So she was like, Sarah, it's me. It's your daughter. So the little demon thing stops attacking Chris and looks over at her. And so we like having this bonding mother-daughter time with the demon little thingy. Cause yeah, the demon thingy is her mama. Like we didn't know. They having a little moment. Oh no, but Margaret like that. Mama, your ass is crazy. Clock. Hit her with some like hole or something. Knocks her like that and tries to like swing her into the hole. But the demon thingy held on to Margaret's legs, so Margaret almost fall down into the hole with the lady. But she is kicking the thing, and it plummets to his death. They make it to the van to realize they ain't got the damn keys. Whew. Somebody hotwire the car, please. So now we got to go back through all this shit to go find Dale's dead body to get the key off of him. So they go through the woods, get the keys, come back. While they're coming back through, the curse, of course, is happening. Everybody is turning on each other. They're killing each other. They're killing themselves. It's going crazy on this farm. Chris and Margaret makes it back to the van. Of course, the van is not cranking up, baby. I would have been in there like, please, Lord, pumping the gas, trying to crank that thing up. They make it out of there just in the nick of time because now the people are starting to attack the van because everybody's turning on each other. They make it out of there just in the nick of time. The police is called to the scene. And it's just one police officer, which I'm looking like, we just seeing one police officer after these people done told me this crazy ass story. If I was that police officer, you would not have got me out there by my goddamn self. I'll tell you that much. But anywho, they make it out there to the place. And he sees like it's all these fatalities everywhere because everybody done killed each other. So he calls for backup. He goes into the barn, which I'm looking like, baby, I'm waiting on backup. I'm not going in there by myself. We need backup. So he goes into it and he hears a baby crying. So he's looking around, but he sees like this figure standing there. So he was like, put your hands up. Put your hands up. So we still hearing the baby crying. And so then it's turned around. It's Samuel ass. And he got blood on him and everything. So I was like, well, wait a minute. Samuel crying like a newborn baby? Samuel stands straight up. Next thing we know, the police officer gets shot. So I was like, well, what the hell just happened? Who else is out there? Who got a gun? So the next police officer pulls up and gets out his car. And Samuel walking out the bar, and he was like, wait, buddy. Wait a minute. Sam turns, look at the man, shoots the man in the head. Now I'm wondering, Samuel has to be the boy child that's supposed to be sacrificed a long time ago in the previous movies. So that, because remember, the family, it all started with the first movie with the girls, and they find out that their mama sold her soul to the devil, and she was supposed to sacrifice the first son. But all these generations had happened, and nobody had no son until the girl from the first movie had a little boy, and that's when all this shit started happening because we supposed to get that little boy up. Is Samuel that boy? We need to know. Samuel that boy ain't it. So he gets in the police car, and he drives off. And that's the end of the movie. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the movie even if it was not that scary to me because it really wasn't. I enjoyed the movie because they continue with this timeline. And I'm a sucker for a timeline in a movie. I need to know what's going to happen. But thank you for watching this show. Hope I kept you entertained the whole way through. And until next time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how you felt about the movie. Let me know if you're even going to think about watching this movie. And until next time, bye guys.